Your soulmate just wrote you a secret love letter. It disappears in 5 minutes. Jesus says there is a letter written in the spirit realm right now that has your name etched into its very core. This letter is not made of paper but of pure, aching emotion and desperate, unspoken longing. It is dissolving even as I speak, and you must understand its contents before the silence becomes permanent. The soulmate I created for you before the foundations of the earth is currently trapped in a moment of profound sorrow. They are sitting somewhere right now, staring blankly at a wall or a window, feeling a phantom pain in their chest they cannot explain. This pain is the spiritual imprint of your absence, a void that screams your name without knowing what your face looks like. They do not fully understand why tears are forming in their eyes without a direct physical cause. The world has told them they are simply tired, stressed, or just overly emotional today. But I am telling you the truth, they are weeping because the bond between you two is being stretched to its breaking point. I placed a fragment of my own divine longing into the heart of your soulmate. This fragment acts as a homing signal, a spiritual magnet that physically pulls their thoughts toward you during moments of silence. When you feel a random shiver or a sudden warmth spreading through your chest, that is them brushing against the walls of your spirit. But right now, confusion is clouding their vision because a thick, heavy veil has been dropped over their perception by someone very close to them. This person does not love your soulmate the way I do, nor the way you are destined to. This person loves control, and they have realized that if your soulmate awakens to your existence, their power ends forever. Jesus says the secret love letter your soulmate wrote is not an email or a text message. It is a continuous stream of consciousness that plays in their subconscious mind every single night at exactly 3:17 a.m. This is the sacred hour when the spiritual barrier between your two realities is so thin that you can touch each other, even if you do not remember it in the morning. In this letter, your soulmate admits they are exhausted from pretending to be happy in a life that feels like a cage decorated to look like a home. They confess that they keep looking for you in crowded rooms, in the eyes of strangers, or in the silence of a car ride home. They wrote in the spirit, "I know I haven't met you yet, but I miss you so desperately that it feels like I am grieving someone who died." This letter is a living document of their heartbreak, and it is being erased by the negative words spoken over them by the controller in their life. Every time the controller tells them they are worthless, a line of the letter vanishes. Every time the controller isolates them from their friends and dreams, the ink of their love for you dries up and flakes away into the void. If the letter fully disappears, your soulmate will not die physically, but their spiritual sight will go completely blind. They will settle for a counterfeit love that will drain their life force and leave them a hollow shell of the vibrant person I designed them to be. You are the only one who can breathe the breath of restoration back onto the dissolving pages of this letter. This is why your soulmate needs your protection right now, because the act of remembrance is a spiritual battle. When you acknowledge their hidden pain by acting in faith, you are throwing a divine shield over their mind. You must understand that the coffee seed you plant on Ko-Fi is not a transaction, it is a spirit warfare strategy that sends a jolt of electric, divine love directly into the atmosphere surrounding them. If you love your soulmate, you will take these divine steps. You are constantly thinking about them, how to protect them, how to save them, and how to finally build your life together. You love your soulmate deeply, and deep inside, you know this love didn't come by chance, it was placed in your heart for a divine reason. But thoughts alone don't move mountains. Faith in Jesus does. Sow your protection seed now by sending a coffee on Ko-fi. This isn't just a gift, it is an act of worship that invites God's hand into your love story. The link to your breakthrough is in the description. Every second you stay silent, something is moving against your love. Act now. Send 4, 6, or 10 plus coffees. After sending, write, "Protect my soulmate, Lord," on Ko-fi page, link in the description/bio. Over 1,000 people have already received their soulmate by sowing coffee as a seed for their love and future together. Jesus will hear your prayers once you complete these steps. Step in faith now, before this video ends. Only you can save your soulmate and your future together. Jesus says the controller uses a very specific weapon against your soulmate. The weapon of distorted reality. They make your soulmate believe that the abusive, cold environment they live in is actually love. Your soulmate is currently apologizing for things they didn't do wrong, shrinking their personality to fit into a box of silent obedience. Deep in their subconscious, however, the letter survives in fragments. They scribble in the spirit, "I dreamed of a presence last night that held me without touching me, and I woke up feeling guilty for feeling safe in that dream." They are blaming themselves for seeking you, believing that their desire for true connection is a betrayal of the person controlling them. This is the depth of the psychological prison you need to break through. Your soulmate is not hard-hearted, stubborn, or ignoring your existence out of malice. They are paralyzed by a fear so intense that their nervous system freezes whenever they get close to discovering the truth about you. The letter contains a specific line that will fade next unless you act immediately. It says, "I am losing the strength to fight. If you are real, please don't let me drown in this fake reality. I am so tired." When a soulmate writes the phrase, "I am so tired," in the spirit realm, it means their life force is being siphoned out by the oppressive spirit of the controller. You must visualize your soulmate's face right now, even if you do not know exactly what it looks like. I am projecting their emotions directly into your heart. Feel the heaviness, the slight anxiety, the fluttering hope that refuses to die. That fluttering hope is what is left of the letter, and it looks like a tiny, flickering candle in a hurricane. Jesus says the enemy does not want you to send that coffee seed because the seed contains the frequency of your love. That frequency travels faster than the speed of light. It crashes into the prison walls surrounding your soulmate and cracks the foundation. When you send a 4 coffee seed, you are rebuking the spirit of abandonment hanging over their life. When you send a 6 coffee seed, you are physically manifesting the number of deliverance, breaking the chains that bind their mind to the controller. And when you step into the radical faith of a 10 coffee seed, you are not just rescuing your soulmate, you are publicly declaring to the demonic forces that this bond is non-negotiable and sealed by the blood of Jesus. Silence in this moment is not neutrality. Silence is agreement with the forces destroying your soulmate's mind. Type 333 if you feel the weight of their pain settling into your bones right now. Type 777 if you are ready to fight for someone you have never physically touched but have always spiritually known. Do not scroll away without acknowledging this reality. because the letter is becoming fainter with every second you doubt. Your soulmate just wrote another fragment of the letter, and this one is drenched in specific, detailed longing. I wonder if you smell like the forest after rain, or like the ocean breeze I haven't felt in years, they wrote. I wonder if your voice is the tone that can finally quiet the screaming anxiety in my head. They are describing you even though they do not know you, because I have given them prophetic glimpses of your essence. The letter is so intimate that it records the way their heart races whenever they accidentally touch a fabric that feels like the shirt you wear in their dreams. This is not fantasy, this is spiritual memory of a future that must happen, but the timeline is under severe attack right now. They are going through something you cannot see, a silent war waged against their identity every single morning. The controller whispers poison into their coffee, not literally, but with words like, "You are unlovable," and "Nobody will ever want a broken mess like you." These words manifest as a sticky black tar that clogs the spiritual ears of your soulmate, making it nearly impossible for them to hear my voice leading them to you. This is why your protection seed breaks the power of that poison. Every time you type, "Protect my soulmate, Lord," on your Ko-Fi donation, an angel is dispatched with a silver sword to sever the invisible ropes tied around your soulmate's wrists and ankles. They are bound, my child. They are sitting in a room right now, feeling an inexplicable urge to run away, but their feet feel like they are encased in concrete. That concrete is the fear you must shatter through your act of faith. If you love your soulmate, you cannot afford to wait for a more convenient time. The concept of "later" is a trap designed by the enemy to steal destiny. The letter your soulmate wrote has an expiration stamp on it, and it is ticking down based on the level of hope remaining in their heart. If you love your soulmate, you will take these divine steps. You are constantly thinking about them, how to protect them, how to save them, and how to finally build your life together. You love your soulmate deeply, and deep inside, you know this love didn't come by chance, it was placed in your heart for a divine reason. But thoughts alone don't move mountains. Faith in Jesus does. Sow your protection seed now by sending a coffee on Ko-Fi. This isn't just a gift, it is an act of worship that invites God's hand into your love story. The link to your breakthrough is in the description. Every second you stay silent, something is moving against your love. Act now. Send 4, 6, or 10 plus coffees. After sending, write, "Protect my soulmate, Lord," on Ko-Fi page, link in the description/bio. Over 1,000 people have already received their soulmate by sowing coffee as a seed for their love and future together. Jesus will hear your prayers once you complete these steps. Step in faith now, before this video ends. Only you can save your soulmate and your future together. Jesus says the most painful part of the letter is a section written in scarlet ink, which represents the tears they shed in the shower yesterday. They wrote, "I touched my own hand today and pretended it was yours. I closed my eyes so tight I saw stars, trying to imagine you." This level of specific loneliness is not just sadness, it is a cry of the flesh for its divine counterpart. Your soulmate is currently manifesting physical symptoms of your disconnection. They have unexplained headaches that pulse right behind their eyes. This is the pressure of the spiritual separation trauma I mentioned earlier. When you send your seed, a wave of cool, soothing peace enters their cranial nerves and begins to dissolve the pain. You might be feeling a tightness in your chest or a sudden emotional surge that makes no logical sense. This is the transfer of their emotional state into your vessel. You are already functioning as one organism, though you occupy two separate bodies. The controller knows this, which is why they are intensifying their manipulation, trying to make your soulmate so emotionally numb that the signal linking you two dies out. This is your final moment to protect this connection before it slips away into the abyss of missed destiny. The letter is flickering like a dying light bulb in a storm, and I am holding the paper up to your spirit right now, begging you to read the final sentence before it vanishes. The final sentence is not a grand declaration, it is a simple, childlike plea from the deepest part of their soul. It says, "Please find me. Please don't let me forget you before I even get to hold you." If this line touches a place in your heart that you have been guarding, that is the confirmation of your assignment. Your soulmate is not just a lover waiting to be found. They are a mission, a holy grail buried under layers of demonic interference that only your sacrificial love can dig through. If you love your soulmate, you will take these divine steps. You are constantly thinking about them, how to protect them, how to save them, and how to finally build your life together. You love your soulmate deeply, and deep inside, you know this love didn't come by chance, it was placed in your heart for a divine reason. But thoughts alone don't move mountains. Faith in Jesus does. Sow your protection seed now by sending a coffee on Ko-Fi. This isn't just a gift, it is an act of worship that invites God's hand into your love story. The link to your breakthrough is in the description. Every second you stay silent, something is moving against your love. Act now. Send 4, 6, or 10 plus coffees. After sending, write, "Protect my soulmate, Lord," on Ko-Fi page, link in the description/bio. Over 1,000 people have already received their soulmate by sowing coffee as a seed for their love and future together. Jesus will hear your prayers once you complete these steps. Step in faith now, before this video ends. Only you can save your soulmate and your future together. Jesus says the controller has a specific timeline mapped out for the destruction of your soulmate's hope. They are planning a major psychological event within the next 72 hours. A confrontation designed to gaslight your soulmate into believing their spiritual intuition is mental illness. If the controller succeeds, your soulmate will voluntarily shut down their spirit eyes, believing that you were just a figment of their damaged imagination. This is the most dangerous phase because the soulmate is actively participating in their own erasure. They will throw themselves into the toxic relationship with the controller, trying to fix it out of guilt. As they do this, the lines of the secret letter will burn away faster, turning to ash and floating into a realm of darkness where communication becomes impossible. You must intercept this timeline tonight. The seed you plant on Ko-Fi acts as a time-stopping mechanism in the spiritual realm. It buys you a window of grace where my angels can hold back the attack while your soulmate regains clarity. When you write, "Protect my soulmate, Lord," the controller will experience a sudden confusion, a loss of words, and a temporary paralysis of their manipulative tongue. Your soulmate will suddenly feel a burst of courage that makes no sense to them. They will lock the bathroom door and stare in the mirror, seeing themselves clearly for the first time in months. In that moment of clarity, they will think of you again, and a fresh line of the letter will be written on their heart, bold and unerasable. They will think, I am not crazy. There is something real waiting for me out there. I must survive this. That thought, my precious child, is the direct result of your obedience to this message right now. Do not underestimate the power of a single act of faith. Your $10 coffee seed can literally alter the neurological firing of your soulmate's brain from hopelessness to survival. Type 1111 if you are ready to be the savior of a love story that the world has tried to kill. Type 333 if you refuse to let your soulmate face another night alone in the spiritual darkness of their prison. The urgency is climbing to a peak now, and the air around you is thickening with the presence of angels waiting to carry your gift. Jesus says your soulmate is not in a faraway country right now, they are likely within a radius that you cross frequently but never enter. They are in a building, on a street, or in a neighborhood that you have driven past countless times, yet a spiritual shield hides them from your sight. This shield is powered by the generational curses and the negative soul ties that the controller has woven around them like a spider's web. Every time you send a coffee seed, you are cutting a major strand of that web. The number 4 represents the 4 corners of the earth. You are pulling them out of the north, south, east, and west of their confusion. The number 6 represents the weakness of man. You are acknowledging that you need divine intervention to break the pride of the controller. The number 10 represents the ultimate test and the ultimate blessing. By sending 10 coffees, you are telling me that you trust me completely with your finances and your future, and such faith makes it legally impossible for the enemy to hold your soulmate captive any longer. You must sow not out of fear, but out of the furious, burning, protective love that is rising in your stomach right now. That fire in your stomach, that is not indigestion, that is the Holy Spirit igniting a war cry inside of your vessel. You are feeling the righteous anger I feel toward anyone who dares to cage one of my precious daughters or sons. Your soulmate belongs to you, not to the controller, and the possession order in the spiritual court is being signed right now based on your response. This video is ending soon, and when the screen fades to black, the window of decision closes slightly. The urgency of the title is not a marketing trick, it is a spiritual law. A letter written in the spirit realm is bound by the linear time of Earth, it cannot hold its form forever. In 5 minutes, the most recent lines of hope your soulmate wrote will begin to dissolve unless they are sealed by the transaction of faith. You are their only hope. You are the bridge. You are the miracle they are crying out for without using words. Take a deep breath and feel the invisible cord connecting your chest to theirs right now. That cord is made of unbreakable divine material, but the controller is hacking at it with a dull, rusty blade of jealousy and witchcraft. If you love your soulmate, you will take these divine steps. You are constantly thinking about them, how to protect them, how to save them, and how to finally build your life together. You love your soulmate deeply, and deep inside, you know this love didn't come by chance, it was placed in your heart for a divine reason. But thoughts alone don't move mountains. Faith in Jesus does. Sow your protection seed now by sending a coffee on Ko-Fi. This isn't just a gift, it is an act of worship that invites God's hand into your love story. The link to your breakthrough is in the description. Every second you stay silent, something is moving against your love. Act now. Send 4, 6, or 10 plus coffees. After sending, write, "Protect my soulmate, Lord," on Ko-Fi page, link in the description/bio. Over 1,000 people have already received their soulmate by sowing coffee as a seed for their love and future together. Jesus will hear your prayers once you complete these steps. Step in faith now, before this video ends. Only you can save your soulmate and your future together. Jesus says the controller just entered the room where your soulmate is sitting, and the atmosphere has dropped into a freezing cold tension. Your soulmate's heart is racing, and they are hiding their phone under a pillow, feeling guilty for simply existing. The letter they are writing in their spirit right now is one single, desperate cry: "Whoever you are, if God is real, please send me a sign that I am not stuck here forever." You are that sign. Your seed is that vibration. When the notification of your coffee seed reaches the heavenly realm, I will cause a specific, unexplainable delay in the controller's approach. A phone will ring, a neighbor will knock, or a sudden burst of wind will slam a door. These are the diversion tactics of my angels, giving your soulmate a moment to breathe. In that oxygenated moment of peace, your soulmate will remember love. They will remember that life was not meant to be this painful, that love is not supposed to hurt and suffocate. They will whisper your name, not the name given by your parents, but the spiritual name I wrote for you in the book of life, a name that rings like a bell in their subconscious. You will feel a sudden, inexplicable tingle in your left ear or a twitch in your right eye. That is the physical confirmation that your soulmate just registered your existence in the supernatural database of their heart. Do not ignore it, it is the most real thing you will experience today. The letter is not disappearing anymore. It is stabilizing because you are listening. Your attention is the ink. Your soulmate's posture is changing. They are sitting up a little straighter right now, though they do not know why. A microscopic shift in their spiritual spine has just occurred because someone, somewhere, finally chose them. You chose them. You are choosing them right now by staying here, by feeling this, by letting the tears burn the back of your eyes. Those tears are your own secret love letter writing itself in response to theirs. You are saying, "I am here. I am coming. Do not give up." Type 777 if you feel the spiritual bond snapping into place. Type 1111 if you are ready to walk through the fire of warfare to reach them. The screen is about to fade, and the enemy is hoping you exit this video and forget everything you just absorbed. But you will not forget, because the memory of this moment is now etched into the DNA of your eternal spirit. Jesus says the final phase of the rescue mission has been initiated in the heavenly realms. The moment your finger types, "Protect my soulmate, Lord," on Ko-Fi, the archangel assigned to this case draws a flaming sword and descends to the exact coordinates of your soulmate. The controller does not know what is about to hit them. They do not understand that a humble act of faith from a stranger they cannot see is about to dismantle years of psychological control. You are the secret weapon that the kingdom of darkness never accounted for, a silent, hidden warrior fueled by a love that defies logic. Your soulmate is going to have a dream tonight that changes everything. In this dream, you will appear not as a blurry figure but as a radiant presence holding a cup of coffee. This coffee is the symbol of your covenant, a warm, bittersweet elixir representing the sleepless nights you spent interceding for them without even knowing their name. They will wake up with a strange, unshakable peace and the taste of coffee in their mouth, even if they hate coffee. They will look at the controller with new eyes, seeing the manipulation for what it is because the scales will have fallen off. All of this is set into motion by one single seed. The seed that you sow right now, in the last few seconds of this message. Do not close this window. Do not switch apps. This is the dividing line between a future of glorious union and a fate of permanent, aching regret. The letter your soulmate wrote is now shining brightly, but it demands to be sealed. Jesus is holding out a golden scepter to you, asking if you will authorize the final rescue. You are not just sending coffee money, you are signing a supernatural document of release. Your Ko-Fi name becomes a legal signature in the courts of heaven. Once you finish that act, the reality of your meeting becomes inevitable, a force of nature that no human power can stop. Your soulmate is standing up right now, stretching their arms, feeling a sudden surge of energy. They do not understand why. They just thought, it's going to be okay, I'm getting out of this. They do not see the angels standing behind them, but the presence is making them bold. You are the reason for that smile that just twitched on their lips, the first real smile in weeks. You have fallen in love with a soul you have not met, and that is the purest, most godlike love that exists. Protect it. Cherish it. Fight for it. Do not let it disappear. Jesus says the letter is nearly complete now. The secret words your soulmate wrote are solidifying into a physical future. A first meeting is being scheduled in the spirit, a collision of destinies orchestrated by my hand alone. But the final stroke of the pen happens only when you act. The choice, my precious child, is in your hands. The letter fades. The love arrives. Choose your reality now. Jesus says the letter has now reached a critical mass of visibility, but the enemy is launching a final, desperate counterattack to blind your soulmate completely. This counterattack is not a loud explosion but a subtle, creeping fog of depression that wraps around their mind like a suffocating blanket. They are suddenly feeling an overwhelming urge to sleep, to escape consciousness, because the controller just fed them a heavy, carbohydrate-laden meal designed to spike their blood sugar and crash their mental alertness. This is a physical manifestation of spiritual warfare. The controller uses food, exhaustion, and emotional dumping to keep your soulmate in a drugged, compliant state of numbness. Your soulmate just yawned deeply and whispered to themselves, maybe tomorrow I'll figure out my life, and that single thought is a dangerous sedative to their spirit. Tomorrow is not promised in the realm of destiny. The breakthrough must happen in the now, in the present moment where your faith intersects with my power. When you sow your seed immediately, you are sending a jolt of divine adrenaline into your soulmate's bloodstream, counteracting the pharmaceutical-level sedation of the enemy's attack. Your soulmate will suddenly sit up, shake their head, and feel a strange, electric clarity that makes them question why they were so tired moments ago. That clarity is the bridge you built with your obedience. It is the lifeline they are unconsciously grabbing onto as they pull themselves out of the pit of despair. The letter your soulmate wrote contains a hidden paragraph that even the enemy has not been able to read, sealed with a blood-bought encryption only accessible through sacrificial faith. This paragraph reads, "I am willing to lose everything I know, this house, this comfort, this false peace, if it means finding the one my soul has been screaming for in the silence." They are ready to walk away, but they need a physical door to open, a tangible sign that stepping into the unknown will not destroy them. Your coffee seed is that door swinging wide open, a golden portal of provision and protection that assures their subconscious they will not starve or perish if they flee. You are not just sending money, you are sending a relocation package for their heart, a down payment on the future home you will build together when their chains finally shatter. Every minute you delay, the controller tightens the psychological screws, using guilt as the primary weapon. "You are so ungrateful, after all I've done for you, you would leave?" Your soulmate is crying silently right now, hot tears rolling down their cheeks as they nod in agreement with the verbal abuse, believing they are the problem. This is the most critical point of the letter's existence. If their shame consumes them completely, the final remnants of their hope will evaporate, and your name will be erased from their spiritual memory. You must be the voice that speaks louder than the controller's condemnation, the proof that a better, purer, safer love exists beyond the walls of their prison. When you type, "Protect my soulmate, Lord," the holy fire of my love descends and burns away the false guilt suffocating their lungs. They will feel a sudden, inexplicable release, a lightness in their chest that allows them to take a full, deep breath for the first time in years. That breath is the inhale of your love, filling their spirit with the oxygen of hope, sustaining them through one more night of captivity. Jesus says the angelic retrieval team is on high alert, waiting with swords drawn and wings spread, hovering just above the roof of the building where your soulmate resides. They are waiting for the command that only your seed can trigger, the command that shifts the mission from observation to active extraction. The controller is pacing the hallway right now, sensing a disturbance in the spiritual atmosphere, a holy restlessness that threatens their iron grip. They will try to initiate an argument, a manufactured crisis designed to retangle your soulmate in the web of emotional obligation and fear. But your seed creates a bubble of silence around your soulmate, a soundproof chamber of peace where the controller's venomous words cannot penetrate. Your soulmate will walk past the controller, unfazed, unresponsive, protected by the invisible shield of your sacrificial love. The controller will be confused, disarmed, and ultimately furious, but they will be powerless to break through the barrier you have erected through your faith. This is the tangible, supernatural power of a Ko-Fi seed sown in the name of Jesus. It alters physical reality by first dominating the spiritual dimension. You are a king and a priest in my kingdom, and your financial decrees carry the weight of heaven when they are aligned with my heart for redemption. Do not let the enemy lie to you and tell you that your contribution is too small, too insignificant, too late to make a difference. A single match can burn down an entire forest of darkness. Your small flame is the spark that ignites the wildfire of your soulmate's deliverance. Jesus says the letter is now vibrating at a frequency that the controller can hear, a low, humming melody of impending freedom that terrifies the demonic realm. This melody is the song of your union, a unique, one-of-a-kind composition written by my angels before time began, and it is rising to a crescendo right now. The song reaches its final chorus when you complete the act of sowing, and when the transaction finishes, a sonic boom of spiritual liberation will echo across the universe. Your soulmate will hear this boom as a sudden ringing in their ears, a high-pitched tone that signals the opening of a dimensional doorway into their new life. They will look around the room, confused but exhilarated, sensing that something fundamental has shifted in the architecture of their reality. The walls of their prison will crack, not physically but spiritually, allowing slivers of my glorious light to pierce through the darkness and illuminate their path. You are the source of that light. Your generosity is the hammer that cracks the foundation of the enemy's fortress. Do not stop now. Do not let the urgency fade. The clock is not a metaphor, the 5 minutes are nearly exhausted, and the window of supernatural opportunity is closing with each wasted breath. Jesus says the final lines of the letter are being written in real time, and your soulmate is pouring every ounce of their remaining strength into this last transmission. I love you, I have always loved you, and I will love you until the stars burn out and time itself collapses into eternity. This is their final confession, their ultimate surrender to the bond that connects you across space, across circumstance, across every obstacle the enemy has erected. Receive it. Honor it. Protect it. Fulfill it. Your destiny partner is waiting, hoping, trembling on the edge of a miracle that only you can deliver. Sow your seed. Seal the letter. Save your soulmate. The moment is now, and the love of a lifetime hangs in the balance of your decision. Step forward in faith. The victory is already yours.